Hello, hi, it's me and Goldie coming to you live. And I just wanted to test this whole thing out here and see how well this was going to work because I'm coming to you live from Zoom because I want to share my screen with you. And the reason I want to share my screen with you is because I want to show you my human design chart and I want to walk you through the chart and I want to tell you about human design because it's something that I've been really into for the last few years. I've studied it a lot and it's really changed my life. And it's something that I also implement into my coaching. And I just want to point out all these crazy red marks on my neck. They're from her. I have really sensitive skin. It goes red really easily and it goes away really easily. So I didn't do anything to myself. I'm fine, just so you know. Anyways, I'm going to start by explaining to you a little bit about what human design is, where it came from, etc., and how it all works. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to see, any questions if they come up live, but I will do my best here. And I'm excited about this. So I will start out by explaining human design. What is it? It's a system of energetic proportions that was founded by a Canadian man, actually, named Ra Uru Hu, back in, I believe, in the 70s. And it was downloaded into him from source. And what it is a combination of several different systems, such as astrology, the chakra system, the I Ching, the tree of life from Kabbalah, as well as some like quantum physics and psychology too. So it's really fascinating. It's really complex. You can learn incredible things about yourself. And if it kind of seems a little far-fetched, that's fine. But the thing is that once you start getting into it, it's so incredibly accurate and freeing that it really truly can help you embrace exactly who you are and stop trying to be anything other than that. So I just want to say that in human design, that there is no good or bad. Everything is neutral. Everything is what it is. The places that you have, open centers, for example, which I'll get into a little bit, are the places that you're most open to conditioning. So we have spaces in ourselves where we are more prone to taking on, society's conditioning, the conditioning of families, partners, even children can, condition us to start trying to behave and act in ways that are not true to who we are. So that being said, I want to walk you through a chart. So let me pull up my chart. And I am very true to real life. So that's why I decided to do this with little Miss Goldie instead of trying to pretend that she wasn't here and putting her, down beside me or whatever. So this is what it is. And I believe that women can do business with a baby on their hip because that's part of our lives, right? That's part of our lives. Yes. Okay, so let me start screen sharing here. Here, I will share this with you. I wonder if you'll be able to see me still. I'm not sure. Hold on a sec. Share screen. Preview. Share. Okay, I think you can only see the chart. I'm not sure if you can see my whole desktop or if you can see only the chart. But here's my chart. This is my human design chart. You can get your chart for free. I really like jovianarchive.com. You can see it up in the top right-hand corner here, jovianarchive.com. You can get your chart for free, just like you can get your astrology chart for free in several places online. So you enter your birth date, time, and place, and it populates your chart. And it is important to enter your time correctly because it can change. Some things can change moment to moment. I tried playing around with mine, entering a minute different here or there, and only one small thing in my chart changed. So it depends on the moment to moment what changes, but the best thing we can do is get your most accurate birth time. Okay, so let's start walking through. At the top, you have your type. I am a generator. I'm not going to go through each of the things for each thing. I'm just going to talk to you about what each thing is. And then you guys are welcome to go find more information on your own, or you can message me. You can message me because I'm actually going to be offering half-price human design intro readings to cover the basics of your chart for $150. For Black Friday. And I am going to be offering readings going forward with follow-up coaching too, because this is like some seriously amazing and fun and, like I said, life-changing stuff. Okay, so the type, generator. These are your energy types. Okay, so I think that there are, how do I say this, 6 different types. There's generator, manifesting generator, manifester, there's a reflector, and there is a projector. So did I count that properly? And basically what that means is how you sort of like move in the world, the amount of energy you have, where you get your energy from, etc. So generators all have, like, each type has a certain strategy and a not self theme. So you'll see here, there's a strategy and a not self theme, and each type has the same strategy and the same not self theme. Your strategy is how you are, how you move in the world in a way. She wants to be a part of this. How you move in the world that's in alignment with your type. Okay, so as a generator, my strategy is to respond. So that means that I'm not here to initiate things. I'm here to respond to things. So I need to wait till the world presents me with things to respond to. I'm not supposed to go out into the world and force things to happen. Whereas a manifester, their strategy is to inform. And what that means is that they are supposed to go out into the world and initiate, but they just have to inform people what they're up to as they're doing it. Not to get permission, but just to inform people. And again, each type has a different strategy. Projectors, for example, is a wait for the invitation. So in a similar sort of way to generators, they're not meant to go out and initiate, but it's not the same as responding. It's literally waiting to be invited into something. And then the not self theme. So not self theme is how you can tell that you are out of alignment. So if a generator or a manifesting generator feels frustration, that means that they are not in alignment with their type. And it means that they are not living in integrity, or they're not using their strategy, or they're not using their inner authority. Okay, again, I'm not going to go through each of these for each type, but for a projector, for example, the not self theme is bitterness. So if you feel your not self theme, it means that something is out of alignment. And then coming up here, your inner authority. This is how you are supposed to make decisions in the world. Okay, so I'm an emotional or a solar plexus authority. So what that means is I'm always riding these huge waves of emotion up and down all the time. And learning this was actually one of the biggest game changers for me, because I felt like I was wrong for being so emotional all the time. When I would get into a low, I would always be like trying to get out of it as fast as I possibly could, and feeling really like crappy for feeling crappy, because as a coach and a student of personal development and psychology, I always felt that I should have the tools to get myself out of it. But that is not the case. I am simply an emotional person, and I ride the wave of emotion every day, all day. And that's just who I am. And accepting that is so freeing and gives me so much peace. So anyways, that was kind of a little rant that didn't really have too much to do with my authority. It's just the fact that I have a defined emotional center as well, which I will get into the defined and open or undefined centers momentarily. This little girl is also a generator. Goldie the generator. Me, Junior, and Goldie are all generators, and little Rosen is a projector. Okay, so your inner authority is how you should make decisions in the world. Getting back to it. Essentially, like there are quite a few different authority types, but all of them kind of come back to an intuitive sort of knowing. There are some that involve like vocalizations, like speaking, and there are some that involve like waiting a full moon cycle if you're a reflector. But what it comes down to, for the most part, is that we should not be making decisions with our heads. We are not meant to be living out of our heads for most types, except for there is a mental projector as well. So I shouldn't say for everybody, but here we have our authority. We really, really need to make decisions with our authority, because if we don't, we will often end up feeling our not self theme, and things just won't turn out the way that you want them to or hope them to, for them to, and oftentimes they'll just end up going badly. So the first thing you want to do when you learn your human design chart is to pay most attention to your type, your strategy, and your authority. You have to master those three things before you can start thinking about all of the other parts of your chart. And I'm not going to go super deep into this right now, because I just want to give you guys like a high level overview of how to actually look at your chart. Okay, up here is your profile. So your profile is kind of like your personality in a way. Okay, so the first number is kind of a little bit more of like the dominant part of who you are, and then the second number shows up like sometimes later in life, depending on the numbers that you have. But essentially, it is sort of, so my number 3-5. It means I'm a martyr heretic. And essentially, like sum it up, what that means is that I'm the type of person who needs to like bump into things into the world and like learn by trial and error, and that I'm to share that with the world as I learn what works and what doesn't work. Okay, so I can attest to how true that is. I'm like the stubborn type that has to try it for myself to see how it goes. And that's what I do, is that I love to share these things with the world. And then at the bottom here of the top of the chart is your Incarnation Cross. And essentially there are a lot of different Incarnation Crosses, but essentially what it is that it's the theme of your life. And I am blown away by my Incarnation Cross, the right angle cross of the vessel of love, because what it means is that I am here to experience love in all its forms at the highest capacity that I possibly can, and to inspire other people to become more comfortable with themselves, especially in the realm of self-love. So I don't know how much more accurate something could be, but it's pretty amazing, I would say. So this is something that you can look up, like just by Googling it. But to get super specific about your Incarnation Cross, you actually also have to know your conscious sun number, which is right here. That's the first number right there. So my conscious sun is 10. So when you look that up, knowing that number is also important. So I have a book called the Book of Destinies, which I would look up my sun in gate 10, and then I find the vessel of love in that gate, and that's my specific vessel of love cross, because for the vessel of love there are 4 different ones. Everyone has, some of them have 4, some of them have 2, but anyways, that's how you get super specific with it. Not going to go into all of these different arrows and all of these different things on the sides here, because this is like really deep and next level. So we're going to stay away from that stuff here. But I want to go over the centers quickly. So there are 9 centers in the human design chart, and they can either be white or they can be colored in. A white center means that it's undefined or open. And essentially what that means is that those are our places in our personality, in our body, where we are most open to conditioning, like I was mentioning earlier. And what that means is that we can take on other people's energy. We can, sometimes we can overcompensate in those areas, and we have to just be very aware of it, because actually, if we can be aware of it and have that awareness, it can actually help us develop a very deep level of wisdom in those areas and use it to teach other people, and even especially people who have those areas that are defined. So that's the centers that are colored in. The centers that are colored in are your defined or closed centers, and those are sort of the most steady and reliable traits of your personality. And there's different types of centers. So there are energy centers, there are emotional centers. So I'll just tell you quickly which each are. So that you have your crown at the top triangle, and then your ajna, the one below it. So it's like the mind. Then you have your throat, which is the square right at your throat. Below that is your G center, which is your sense of self, yourself. And to the right, the triangle there, that is your heart, or your will. Okay. And then to the right of that triangle is the emotional or solar plexus. Okay. And then you have your sacral and your root chakra, well, center, sorry. Okay. And then there is the left-hand triangle, which is your spleen. So I'm not going to go into each of these because it would take me a lot longer to explain what open and not open meant in each of these different areas. But let's just say that there is so much revealing information in these centers about who you are and where you've been conditioned and what you've been resisting and what you need to let go of. Some of the most freeing information for me was held in these centers, and I'm so obsessed with it. I fell away from it for a little while earlier in the year. And when I came back to it, I was like, oh my gosh, I have been living totally out of these centers, and I need to get back into alignment. And that shift was so, honestly, just so freeing and relieving for me to be able to realize that I've been doing that and accept it again. And then I'll just tell you, these colorful lines that are connecting the different centers, they are channels and gates, and they do say a lot as well, but that is, again, another next level thing. So like, for example, you can see here that my G center is very lit up and that my root is very lit up. And I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. There's a lot more information that you can glean from these charts. And if you're interested in going that far in a reading, send me a message and I will cover all that stuff in a beautiful reading for you. And if you're interested, you can actually upgrade to a week or more of 101 support. She's so into it. With Q&A, like messenger support with me. So send me a message, because I'm really obsessed with this stuff, and you'll get a recording of your charts so that you can listen to it multiple times. I know me listening to my chart like a year after I had my first reading, I heard it in such a different way because I'd integrated things so much more. And yeah, truly, it's just a wonderful science. I guess I would call it a science for sure. Energetic and physical. So thanks for watching. And if you are, intrigued by any of this stuff, leave a comment below. If you know your design, leave a comment below. And if you have any questions, you can leave a comment below. But that's it for today. And I hope to hear from you guys soon. Bye.